Oi, oi! Welcome to Cheltenham. Only joking, obviously. Welcome back to Cheltenham Exchange, joined by Cheltmental. Fantastic. Great stuff. What do you reckon, Ian? Great stuff.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
Ian's been wanking all day.
So, as you can see, we're very honoured to have been joined by Dave and Jaime from Cheltenham for a preview of the weekend's racing at Newbury. So, thank you, fellas. It was great to meet you at Cheltenham a few weeks back at the November meeting. Great honour, great pleasure.
Dave can't remember on Saturday meeting you lads, so I don't know what you're saying there.
Struggled a bit trying to drink with Jamie, but yeah, there we go. So before we start, in the comments, anybody, if Dave bought you a tequila rose on Saturday, drop a comment in there. Because I think his wallet took a bit of a bashing, did it, Dave?
Just a little bit, but it's all good, right? Only live once.
Love it. So, yeah, a supposedly quick video tonight. We're going to have a dash through the racing for Friday and Saturday at Newbury. Maybe a little bit of bonus stuff on top. And, yeah, we're going to have to, especially with a full crew. We got full crew in. Alex, Matty, Ian and John. So we're going to have to keep it minimal tonight. Ian, looking at you. Keep it minimal. Don't need any routes and all that kind of stuff.
Ian's backing a Henderson horse in every race, so there we go. That's him done.
There we go.
Only two.
I wonder what they are.
So, yeah, evening, gents. Everyone okay? Everyone raring to go?
Ready to go, OJ.
We may as well dive straight into the action then. We're not going through every single race. We picked out 4 races Friday, 4 races Saturday, and then people can chuck in a bit extra if they want. So the first race we're going to look at on Friday is the listed juvenile hurdle at 1:15. With special guests, it would be rude not to start with David, please.
Oh, lovely. Thank you very much. It's a bit of a nothing type race. When you get like the juvenile division, you get the girls division of the juvenile. It's a bit like wet is what I would class it as. It's not really my cup of tea. However, the one that's definitely worth mentioning is the Skelton horse Rue de la Mer, because it's a half sibling to Tully Hill. I know Tully Hill got turned over, but this horse's French form is absolute dog shit. It's been priced up off the back of that, but I'm sure as soon as a few people start looking at the dam, they'll get excited because it's reasonably well bred. I think the Gordon Elliott horse is coming over, Wadhu or Wadho, however we're going to say it, looks pretty trash as well, like 120s RPR, but it could just be a bad race. So listed name or listed race in name, but I don't think it's a listed race in nature. I'd probably just give that token mention to Rue de la Mer for the breeding perspective. At 25s will probably be supported, but I wouldn't want to back Gordon Elliott's odds on, that's for sure.
Love it. Nice start. Thank you very much, sir. Voice of Ireland, come on. What have you got? What have you got on the McConnell horse?
I haven't got nothing, but I just think that Woodhull will win. He's 4-6. It's not original. Yeah. I couldn't find anything to beat it. Was it 130 in the UK? I suppose why to bring it over. Why is it bringing it over? Like, will 130 get into the Fred Winter? I presume it will. So I don't know. I wouldn't touch anything bar her, him, her. It doesn't matter. It probably will win. I wouldn't back it 4-6, and I couldn't find anything against it. Sorry about that.
That's fair enough. Johnny, you got anything at a price for us?
Well, I tend to agree with Jamie about the favourite, probably take all the beating. So I've tried to look at another angle and probably would take Max of Stars without the favourite. I think you can get about 3-1 on Bet365 at the moment. She's already had 6 runs and won 4 times. The second from a market raisin race has come out and won again at Chepstow. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this favourite gets on over here, but I just think Max of Stars might be a little value play at 3s without her. It's interesting, Gordon's got another one in there as well, hasn't he? Dr. Nightingale, so I don't know why he sent over another one for this race. And also McConnell's got one right down at the bottom, Noble Hilltop, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see how those two get on, but yeah, I'll go with Max of Stars without the favourite.
Thank you, Johnny. I bet Matty's getting excited about this race. Yeah, maybe not.
Thank you, Matty.
Yeah, he's on mute.
Matty,
Right,
on mute now.
he wasn't meant to be here anyway. Was
Sorry,
he?
I'm on
Alex.
mute. I'm on mute. Yeah. No, I wouldn't be touching a favourite at the price. I've gone down the similar angle of what Johnny's gone down, but he's gone max of stars without the favourite. I'd be looking at Ragazzina. Finished second on hurdle debut. He was rated higher than John's on the flat. I think he was rated 73 on the flat. Had 10 races under rules. Come second on over hurdles to Union Flag, which went and lost the next time out. But posted an RPR of 91 in that race. I'll be willing to go betting without the favourite, 4-1.
Thank you, Matty. Alex?
Very little interest in this race, to be honest, OJ. Might have a little each way on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Might have a little each way on that on Cesa Sonte of Noel Williams. It was pretty good on debut at Ludlow. Had plenty of races as well, so probably won't be as green as some of the other ones in this race will be. Probably get a few of absolute lunatics in this, as you tend to in some of these juvenile hurdles. So yeah, I'll have a little chance on that, but no real interest when there's a 4-6 favourite in a race like this.
Thank you, mate. Ian?
I'm going to go. It's kind of a different angle. I think I would go for a reverse forecast. I would go with the Elliott 2. I think Dr. Nightingale will probably go from the front, and Woodhoe, it's called, will probably just sit behind Jack Kennedy all the way, and then come to the last, and Woodhoe will go and win. But that would be my play on it. It seems I can't see why Elliott would bring that horse over. I know potentially might win, but I think that would potentially be the plan. So he would just sit behind Dr. Nightingale. So reverse forecast, OJ.
Thank you, Carman. Boss man. Right. Okay, thanks, Jed. Slim pickings there to kick off. We'll move quickly on to the John Frankham Novices Chase at 150. Hermes Allen in here. Johnny? You want to,
Yeah, I mean, I know he's probably going to get a lot of stick here, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing Hermes Allen over a fence. Obviously, Nichols has championed him a little bit last season, saying he's all about going over a fence, so we'll see how he gets on. Looking at the hurdle form, he was probably slightly better than most of these over hurdles, so maybe he is on the short side. I was just looking now; he's about 11-8 best price, but I think he should have enough to win this. Of the others, I quite like Marble Sands, who I've followed for a while, and he does pick up his fair share of wins in races. You know, he's had quite a few over his career, and he won it on his chase debut up at Ayr about 3 weeks ago, and it was pretty impressive, I thought. So I expect him to sort of maybe chase Hermes home. So yeah, I'll go with Hermes for a win bet, but I'm going to keep an close eye on Marble Sands as well.
Cheers, Johnny. Ian, Hermes Allen.
Yeah, same for me. I was similar to what Johnny was saying, but if you want to take a kind of form, if you look at the Aintree race, the novices hurdle, the Irish Point 1, a lot of these have come out on one over a fence since. I think let's be clear about it. You wear it well. Springwell Bay, I think, won a hurdle race. So you could say that's kind of form. Some of them you'd expect first time out if they're going over fences to win. But I can't really see much else to beat Hermes Allen, to be honest. So he'd be the win for me.
Thank you, sir. Jamie, you got anything to beat Hermes Allen?
I totally agree with Mr. Hammer himself, John says. I like Marble Sands here. I can, for the life of me, Hermes Allen, give him £5 more than him. Well, 148 to 143. Marble Sands has jumped the fence in public. You have a front winner here in Nickelback. He'll love the fast pace and he'll kick on. Towards the end, he has a bit of a turn of the foot in the end, and he still, there was a nose in it in the Ballymore. There was still a nose between him and the Ballymore. I know Hermes Allen didn't run up the form really in the Ballymore, but I wouldn't shock me, and I'll put this out here, that when he flops on Friday, he'll be in the Stairs hurdle, in the Cleeve hurdle in January. So, because he's a small little pony, isn't he? From what everyone's saying. So it's 6-1 here, Marble Sands. He'll do for me instead of Hermes Allen all day.
Thank you, Jamie. Alex, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna side with Nickelback. I quite like a front runner in this type of race. Obviously, he's put up RPRs of 147 and 150 since he's been switched to fences. Won both of his races. I think he's won both by sort of 20 lengths plus. So absolutely bolted up in those. I mean, didn't really beat too much, but I'm not a particularly big fan of Hermes Allen, so I was looking for something to beat it, and I think Nickelback could be the one. Happy to take a chance. Price, yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Dave?
Yeah, it's it's pretty good looking race, to be fair, and it's a grade 2. Everything's 140 bar the bottom, one tighten our belts. The market makes it like a case for every single horse. Then you've got everything single figures. You could make a bit of a case for every single horse. I think the bare fact of it is Hermes Allen didn't run up to form at Cheltenham. I mean, Harry Cobden was a bit of an idiot that day, trying to be jostled in the front with the Willie Mullins battalion doing their things. But whatever it was, I just can't believe that it was that was him on that day. The Aintree run was probably a little bit more like him, but I still don't think that was him. But he was only 6 lengths behind Irish Point, so that puts it still like a 145 run when I don't think he was completely sorted. The ground might not be in his favour in this instance, but he's just a much better horse than these, which is why he's the 11 to 8 favourite. So I think he's about the right price. I think he is the most likely winner of it. I do like Marble Sands. This is a horse that I've had a little bit of a soft spot for. Got to go to Graham McPherson's a few years back. This is a half sibling to Sandsend. Fortunately, snapped his leg at Cheltenham. Makes me feel sick to think about it now. But he is a very nice horse. And obviously the Challow hurdle when he faced Hermes Allen, ground was dog shit that day. So although he was miles behind, you can't really take that literally. But then you also can't take the Cheltenham runners literally. I know Jamie's saying that he's a nose there. We know Hermes didn't run up to it. But Marble Sands was good over fences. And I do agree with what Jamie says about Hermes being a little horse. The only thing is it's the sire in it, Polita Gate, I think it is, or something like that. It was Top Notch's sire, little tiny Top Notch that went and won a Turners or whatever it was back in the day. So I think Hermes Allen will be better over fence. I'm not bothered about the size of him. I think he is the most likely winner, but then it's tipping up a favourite in it. But it's a proper deep race. I think there's loads in with chances. So unless Hermes Allen's on his top game, something could easily beat him. So I think he'd win, but I don't think I'll be brave enough to bet him.
Thank you, sir. Matty?
More of a watching brief for me. I'd like to see how Hermes Allen goes over a fence. Going down the route that Jamie and that have gone down with Marble Sands, you can get 4 to 1 without Hermes Allen on Bet365, and that might be a play. But other than that, it's just watching and see how he jumps.
Okay, fair enough.
Can I just say one other thing just before we finish? Only because he's not been mentioned. He's no ordinary Joe. He was only a head or whatever behind Iroko, wasn't he? His form over 2 mile fours is rock solid. He's run loads of trips 2 miles where his form wasn't quite as good. So again, I know he's priced him with a bit of a chance, but he might take a significant step forward chasing. So it is a proper deep race.
Like that. Ian, what do you reckon the Endo horse there, mate?
I do like no ordinary Joe, but I'm not sure. I think Hermes would be too good for him to me. But yeah, I can see Dave's angle.
Thank you, gents. Good race to watch. Good race to watch. Go on then, Matty. You can. Have you got anything for us in the 225 Coral Racing Club handicap chase, Class 2? Anything in here you fancy?
I've not had a chance to look yet, mate. So if you want to come back to me while the lads talk.
Alex, come on in, mate.
Yeah, I really fancy one in this, actually. Iron Bridge of John Joe Neal. Had form behind Autonomous Cloud at the end of last season. It was his last race, actually, last time out. Only beaten by a head. And Autonomous Cloud was obviously very good over the weekend, wasn't it? Was it Sunday he ran? Absolutely bolted up. So, yeah, I'll take a chance that form's going to work out well. And I mean, it's 7 to 1. I think it's got a fair price. You can go each way if you want to, OJ, with your 50p's.
Ooh. I'll have to have a look if I'm going to dig deep. I'll have to have a proper look.
25p then.
Okay, that's fair enough. Lovely. Iron Bridge. I'll have to have a look at that. Thank you, sir. Ian.
I like the look of Can Do Kid for Nichols. 10 stones 12. I think he's gone up a rating from 123 to 129. Last race at Newbury, he ran really well on for second behind Gallup de De Chase, I think in November over 2 mile 4. But some of these others, Alex was saying about Sail Away and Iron Bridge, and they've been running over 3 miles. It's just interesting coming back down in trip to 2 mile 4. So that kind of put me off a bit. But I think, the 10 stone 12, I think, swung it for me with Can Do Kid, and he'll do the job for me.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Johnny?
Yeah, I'm with Ian on this one. Can Do Kid for me as well. From that race, he came second in last time. The third, Our Jet's come out and won as well since. So that's a little bonus for him there as well. There's quite a few exposed handicappers in this race. I mean, that Frero Bamboo, I've followed that off too many cliffs now and just can't seem to get his head in front at all. Always seems to be unlucky and seconds, thirds, etc. So going to draw a line under him. Maybe Can Do Kid's got a bit more improvement than some of these. So yeah, I'm happy to give him a go.
Can Do Kid for Johnny and Ian. Jamie, any thoughts on this one, mate?
Yeah, I backed Can Do Kid the last day at Newbury, and I was very disappointed. And Harry Copton made it some stupid arse objection in the stewards room, and I was like, "What's he at? He still didn't win." My problem with Can Do Kid, does he win races? And it's exactly what Johnny said there about Frere Bamboo. I followed Frere Bamboo off a cliff as well, so I'm going 5-2. I wouldn't back him on the Sundays. I'm going for a right stab in the dark here, and it's another horse I've shares, and it's Red Rookie. First time going up to 2.5 miles, dropped 2 pounds, 138 from 140, and I see the jockey said the last day that he was outpacing the race, won by Boot Hill. And then, of course, the horse who was third in that race was Saint Segal. The less said about that, the better. I'm going to take a stab in the dark with him at 14-1, and hopefully he might return to a bit of form.
Lovely. Red Rookie. Thank you, sir. And Dave.
Yeah, I like
it.
Away. It's a nice enough race, but again, another one I wouldn't be getting too excited about. The Red Rookie thing that Jamie's talking about as well. I don't know for definite if this is the case. I'd have to look at the history of it, but I'm sure Sully Dock AA ran at Ascot in that race over 2 and a bit, and then won this over 2.5, or was beaten by a Venetia Good Thing. Anywho, but yeah, I similarly looked at Red Rookie slightly, but you'd be a braver man than me to actually bet it. Sail Away is the one that's killing me because, like, my logical, sensible head saying you can't back a Skelton horse first time up this season. Entered in the Hennessy. I was doing the stats. We'll come on to that later when we do the tomorrow stuff. But I looked at the horse and I just thought, my biggest concern with it was the trip. This obviously is a shorter trip here, but its back form's filthy. Like, this is a horse with loads of ability. Gave £6 and only got beat 6 lengths by Karat's Rambler. Again, like, that was over 3 mile one, so it was over a further trip. But I think that stretched him. Won the last day at Ayr in a novice handicap chase and absolutely bolted up, and that wasn't even with Harry Skelton on. So, not saying they weren't trying, but I think it could have been an even better performance. It was only 5 lengths behind Dusart when Dusart actually won a novice chase. So there's bits of forming that look quite good, but it's always been a horse that looks like it needs a run as well. And the Skelton yard aren't exactly flying. So it's not like he's a 12 or 14 poke and I take a punt on it. I think he's short enough, but I do think that Sail Away will be winning something special this season. This is only 26 grand in it, but if they were just going to send it out for a run, I know they don't want to ruin a horse, but they could have just sent it out in the Hennessy. So it makes me get that away from the logical central head and think, fuck it, they're actually trying. But...
the big bite.
Oh. But yeah, it would be Sail Away if it was gun to head and I had to have a bet. But I won't be having a bet in the race. I'll have to watch it and just hope that Sail Away gets beat and I can bet it next time.
And one to keep an eye on there for the rest of the season then.
It'll
Matt,
win
if you had
Friday
a chance to have
Yeah, I mean, I'm similar to Dave, Sail Away, but it's the Skelton Yard first time out, isn't it? It's not great this season. I got fell into thinking that they put Unexpected Party in the Paddy Power Gold Cup the other day instead of the Arkle trial because they wanted to go for it. But whether this is going to be one for him, this Sail Away, or whether he's going to get set up for something else. What's he got to carry around 12 stone first time out? I'm going to have to leave him, I think. But he's the one I was sort of drawn to then, just looking through. But
okay,
no
mate.
bet.
Thank you, gents. Some nice little tidbits in there. Okay, the 3 o'clock and race of the day, long distance hurdle, Paisley Park, beaten heroically last year by Champ. Tops the weights. Mr. Wren, go on, kick us off.
Not a great renewal, really, is it? I'm going to be unoriginal. I'm going to be like Kendall over there up the top of the screen. I've not going to beat Marie's Rock. Move on.
Marie's Rock. I got a feeling Ian might like Marie's Rock. Go on, Ian.
No, I do. See, I've wrote on my notes here that it's what we got here. Paisley Park was the 11 pushing 12. Dashel Drasher, I think from what I can see in the Aintree hurdle, I think, or the Liverpool hurdle at Aintree, Dashel Drasher needs to find about 25 lengths on Marie's Rock. I know Marie's Rock was second. And then you got some of the others who we got here. Flight Deck come third at Cheltenham recently. Hugo's New Horse. What's he got? An official rate 132, and then you got Marn's Glory 126. It's not a great renewal. So, but yeah, I would say Marie's Rock, if she's good enough, she should put these to the sold.
Thank you, sir. Alex.
I've got absolutely no interest in this race at all. Just dog shit. They're all either old or they're shit. So yeah, no interest from me.
Oof.
Sorry.
Oof. Johnny, Marie's Rock?
No, definitely not. I can't get Marie's Rock right, can I? So I've kind of fallen on one by default here, really. 3 big price horses I can't have anyway. They've got too much to find. Marie's Rock, like I say, just can't back her when she wins at all. So I'm not backing her now. That's it. She's had her last chance for me. She's out of the reckoning. Paisley, like Ian said, getting on a bit. He's a bit of a mixed bag these days. He'll either win by 30 lengths or be tailed off by 40 lengths. You just don't know what you're going to get. So it's the Drasher for me all the way. He's had a little spin a few weeks ago, just a little quiet ride. I think he'll probably go and try and make all, just go from the front and see if they can catch him. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with Dashel Drasher, one of my old faves.
Love that. A little nod from Dave there when you mentioned Dashel Drasher.
I mean, yeah, it's the right choice, isn't it? Especially at the prices. Marie's Rock at even money, she's not a confirmed stayer. The Aintree run was all right. I know what Ian's saying about Dashel Drasher's got some stuff to make up, but that was a grade 1. He's got only give her £1, so he's £6 better off. And he wore cheap pieces the first time. Shishkin didn't even want to race. At least Dashel jumped off in him. I think Dashel Drasher at 4-1's like 100% the bet, but it might just end up as a value loser because Marie's Rock probably does stay around Newbury. The ground's dry and it's frosty everywhere. It's going to be quick enough. Like if she's ever going to get 3 miles, it will be on on Friday. And it's like I know, like I do like the breeding side of stuff, but like Milan's. Santini, like just absolute boat. Monalee's in there. If the cat fits that won the Newbury hurdle, like they are boaty type horses, but then there are a lot of them that are like on the midst of it that look like they stay that don't actually stay. So I'm still not sold on her as a complete stayer. Dashel Drasher's running that Weatherby hurdle was like on that ground as well. He stayed on and made up loads of ground. We saw Lucia running the Great Wood. Her mark's unchanged, so she'll win next time out. Ascot probably in a handicap. That's a little free one for you. But Dashel Drasher, like we saw, it didn't really take anything out of her. She ran well quite after. He's had a little bit of a longer break. I reckon Dashel Drasher has got a proper chance of this. He's the definite bet 4-1. He will definitely shorten up. Paisley could be 20-1. This will be another Blue King Daru. But Paisley, he's gone, and even in his prime, he was like untrustworthy. So I do love Paisley. Who doesn't? But can't have him. Dashel Drasher will shorten up for sure. Get on.
Ooh, like that. Johnny likes that. He's a tough old boy, old Dashel Drasher. Talking to tough old boys, Matty.
I'm similar to. I'm not really got an interest in it for betting purposes at the moment, but John and Dave might have just talked me into having a little bash on a Dashel Drasher. I wouldn't touch Marie's Rock at the price at all. So for me, it's more of a watching brief, but John and Dave have made a good case there for Dashel, so I'll have a little think.
Yeah, I mean,
love it. Thank you, chaps. Right, obviously, opening race of the day, we've got that Jericho du Reponnet that loads of people are talking about. But yeah, I think it's about 1-3 or something, is it?
Yeah,
I think so.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Geordie Joe loves him. He went to Newbury when they had the racecourse gallops, and he kept talking about Jericho. So be interested to see what he's like when he comes out. But yeah, not a betting one.
Getting excited.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's obviously in the opener. Has anybody got any of the little nuggets in the races that we didn't look at on Friday at all?
I fancy one of the last at Newbury, yeah.
Oh, go on, James.
For Matty's favourite trainer. Ian's a Hendo lover. Matty's a skeleton lover. Holy Joe Smoke. The only reason I picked it because it was dropped a pound from his last run from 119 to 118, and it was 7 lengths behind at Chepstow between Masaccio of Nichols, I think, and the second horse was Beat the Bet. Then went on to win, beat the so-called wonder horse called Welcome to Carteret in Ascot the last day, and they were miles clear of the rest. He was only beaten 7 lengths, dropped a pound. Skelton's on this time. He was only like 130, I think, was last day against Beat the Bats race. I'll have him, and I think he's 5-1. I'll back him. Holy Joe Smoke at the last at Newbury on the Friday.
Love that. Thank you, Jamie. Come on, Dave.
Dave has his hand up.
You know, well, everyone. Well, I say everyone. Most people will know who I would say in this race because of the fact that Jamie's brought it up. I've got to say it's Scandyberg. Fucking loves
God,
Newbury.
he picks that horse again, like.
Oh, but no, but loves Newbury. The quicker ground, the better for this horse over 3 miles. It's down.
Oh,
to
you gushing.
He will horse will place. He's 25-1. It's not even like a scummy each way bet. Either smash it in the place market or back it each way. Scandyberg. You got. Like, I will back it until the day the horse retires. I will be definitely placed in that race. Be careful though, because most bookies are only offering like a third. Sorry, not third. First free. Sky Bet are doing 5 places. If you can get on with them, they're still 20-1. That is ridiculous.
Ooh, another little nugget. Thank you, Dave. And your mate Stuart Edmonds has got one in here as well, which brings us nicely on to Johnny, I think. No, it doesn't. Ian.
No, I didn't. It's not much of a pick, but I thought it was quite interesting. Where are we? It was Gentleman at Arms. I thought was quite interesting. Official rated at 129, but an RPR of 141, which is the highest out of all the runners in the race. One last time out at Aintree. Would be I Will Do It. So I thought that was quite interesting. That he was potentially racing post thinking he's going to run one above his mark. But yeah, that was one to look out for. I think Gentleman at Arms.
There we go. So we've got 3 selections, extra selections in the last. Alex got nothing else. Johnny, nothing else. Matty won't have anything else because he hasn't looked at the ones we were looking at. So. We'll skip a day and move over to Saturday. And the first race we're looking at is the Sir Peter O'Sullivan Memorial Handicap Chase. Did Zanza win this last year? My old mate Zanza, I'm sure. Zanza won this last year. Go on, Ian. You can kick us off.
It's quite tough, this one, because some of the horses that we spoke about already are double booked for this race as well. You look at Sail Away, Iron Bridge. There's a couple I like the look of. One was Cheltenham. I know it's won at nearly every race recently, a lower class of mark, class 3. Ran on the 18th. It was quite close, but interesting that potentially could have an entry here. But I might have to go with my old mate Twig. Ran at Cheltenham last time out, second behind the Wacker Clan. Was, let's have a look, 11.4 that day. He's potentially going to be top weight 11.12. Official rated a 143. I think he could be one. He's always in the top 2, but yeah, I think he could be one for me.
Twig for Ian. Obviously, Dex won't be till tomorrow morning at 10, is it? So
yeah, so it's hard to pick.
It's tough, isn't it? Jamie, anything catch your eye in there?
Not really. OJ, the only one really I was looking at it was the Inch House. Is it for John Joe? up £10. Won the last day at Newbury. Travelled like the best horse of the race. In it, looked like he was ahead of. Obviously, he was ahead of his mark of 120, but looked like he'd more in hand than that. So, stab in the dark, I'll go with him if he runs. Yeah, he's just exactly what Ian's saying. There's a lot declared for Friday out of this race, so it could be only like a 7-8 runner race. But I'd say he'll be fit on originally, probably favourite after what he ran in the last day. But I'll chance him in house for me.
In house for Jamie. Johnny?
Yeah, I quite like one in this if he's declared tomorrow. It's an old tracker horse of mine, and that's Make Me a Believer. He's quite lightly raced for an 8-year-old, to be perfectly honest with you. I still think he might have a bit of improvement in him. He won up at or down at Exeter a couple of weeks ago, and he's been put up £7 for that. But he did hang left in the running, which makes me think he was being a bit lazy there. He was a little bit green still. So I think he was probably quite good value for that win. So he stops faffing about when it comes close home. Maybe he's still got a little bit left in the tank there. So yeah, Make Me a Believer for me.
Make Me a Believer for Johnny. Thank you, sir. Alex, anything?
I'm actually going to copy Ian on this one. I quite fancy Twig as well. Only concern for me was that I saw he's dropping down because he ran at Cheltenham over 3 mile 1, dropping down to 2 mile 6. But I have seen that he's actually won at Newbury before over 2 mile 4, so probably not as concerned about the trip as I was before. Funny enough, he actually beat American Sniper, who Johnny put up at the Cheltenham meets, didn't you, Johnny? Who won at quite a big price. So yeah, just thought it was quite interesting. I have a little go on Twig each way.
Twig for Alex as well as Ian. Dave, what are you got in here?
Yeah.
Anything?
Well, yeah, I do think that Make Me a Believer is interesting because the trip ruined him the last day. Even though he got the job done, the drop back will really suit him. I don't believe that Twig would come here. He's got to go to Hennessy. He doesn't need to drop back in trip. So I wouldn't have him in a month for Sundays sub 3 miles. I reckon he'll run in the Hennessy, but obviously he might not. The one I would be quite keen on would be Way Out for Sid Hosey. I do like Sid Hosey horses, and I think I've probably mentioned Way Out on multiple previews in the past. He jumps like a horse that doesn't really know what he's doing, which is obviously not ideal. But he's got a £10 swing with Inch House for that run here last month. He's predominantly like there or thereabouts in his races. Freddie Gingle's been booked as well. Like, he's a decent jockey. He's winning lots of races, isn't he? He won the Howden Gold Cup recently. Claims £5, well worth that £5. So that makes it like a £15 swing, or like a £13 swing with Inch House maybe. I think Way Out's got a proper chance in it. It'd be interesting to see how they price this one up and who still stays in the race as well. Nasalam's a horse I just want to give a quick mention to because loads of people have liked this horse for multiple races, for multiple years. He's only a 6-year-old though, isn't he? And I do think that his run at Aintree, over the wrong fences as far as I'm concerned, was actually quite an encouraging one. That might have sparked a little bit of life back into him, so I've got to mention him.
I was wondering if anyone was going to mention Nasalam. Got to admit.
Tried not
So,
to.
Way Out, it certainly couldn't say he's not fresh. Seems like he runs every week at the moment. Matty?
I'm similar to Jamie with Inch House. The only other one that I've had a quick look at is Cheltenham. I know it's Dan Skelton horse, but he has actually had a run this season, and it was one of the ones that won first time out. I think I had Tristan Durrell on last day. He claims 5, doesn't he? Even moved up. Is it £7 in there? £7 for his last run. But if Tristan's on again, then he might be one of the play. But without odds or anything, it's not worth going too much into it. But he's had 6 chase runs. He's won 3, come second twice. So yeah, it'll be Cheltenham or Inch House that I have a look at upon decks.
Lovely. Thank you, gents. Right. The next one we're looking at was the 140, wasn't it?
Yes.
Coral Racing Club Handicap Hurdle. Alex, we're not being to you. We've been tail-ended so far, so come on.
Thanks, OJ. This is actually one of the ones I'm most looking forward to this race. Really looking forward to seeing the return of North Lodge. Been in my tracker for ages, and hasn't run since April last year. Finished that season, so April 22, finishing 3rd in the Grade 1 Aintree behind 3 Stripe Life and Mai Tai. He was a 5-year-old then up against 6 and 7-year-olds. So obviously well entitled to improve from that, hopefully, as he gets a bit older. I think he could just be really well handicapped. I was speaking to someone over the weekend who I think is a very good judge, and he thinks a lot of the McNeil horses will be 10 to 15 lengths well in this year because they no longer have a certain jockey riding them, Mr. Heskin. So I'm going to take a chance that he's correct on that, and I'm going to side with North Lodge, who I'm a big fan of anyway, who since he won at Cheltenham on New Year's Day last year.
North Lodge.
I think he's 11 to 1 at the moment, which I think is quite a fair price, considering a lot of these won't run. And he's already jocked up. So,
thank you, sir. Jamie, having a bit of a pop at Adrian Heskin there.
I think. I agree with Alex. He's dog shit. But I'm going to have to steal Mr. Hendo Lover's thunder again here because. Surely Jeff Power is better than what he's shown. I know it bombed last year. You have to remember he was 2 to 7 when he bombed here last year in Newbury. 5 to 1, I think, is massive. If you wanted the potential, do you know what I mean? I think it's just a crap race, and he might come back to what he showed everybody in his maiden hurl at Newbury last year. Yeah, it's not a great. I suppose the Brian Cribbett of form is that lunatic won the race, Jupiter de Geet, and he's done nothing since, and he might as well be put out to dressage or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Put him in that and really calm him down. But it'd be just Jet Power really for me. And 5 to 1's a good price, and I'll have a bit of that, and I will back it. Jet
Power, Ian, what do you reckon?
I'm going to take him on. He really disappointed me, Jet Power.
What?
I'm going to. So I'm not sold on him. So I'm going to take a chance. There are some old favourites in here. You've got Cobbler's Dream. I noticed has gone down a couple of pounds, I think, from his last race, but it doesn't seem to like winning. Sebastopol I love, but it's the 11-10. He's going to be near on top weight with Langer Dan, and let's face it, he's going to be out the back of the telling, try and get his mark down. I want to take a chance on one that I think was mentioned. It sadly fell at Cheltenham, and that's Uncle Bert, who seemed to be going really well when American Sniper won. There's won a few races before that at Perth, I think in September. Beat City Derby by 12 lengths. But yeah, that would be the 10 stone 6 the Tristan Davis is on. So I think that's sold for me. So I'll go with Uncle Bert.
Thank you, Ian. Matty, have you had a chance to look at this one?
I have, and I quite like Rock My Way. Going on, he put on his last run at Cheltenham when he was beaten 4 3/4 lengths by Springwell Bay. He posted his best RPR of 133 since when he won at Cheltenham against Pembroke on 28th of January. He's got Freddie Gingle on Ginger on board, claiming 5. I think he's around 12 to 1 or something at the moment. He seems to have a little bit of a spark back, so I'll be taking a chance on him.
Brings us nicely back to Dave then. A Sid Hosey horse there for Marty.
Yeah,
is it the double?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm definitely betting Rock My Way. I've bet him the last twice. Didn't think his Highland run was... Well, I don't want to say it wasn't encouraging, but he was definitely not doing a jot that day. He didn't really fancy it. Speaking of horses doing a jot, of course, Uncle Bert was travelling nicely, and he fell after the 4th hurdle of 10. You'd be definitely worried if he wasn't travelling well that early. But yeah, I do get the case for him. He looked like a well-fancied horse that day as well, didn't he? Jet Howard's form of that race that he won easily. I know he won it easily, but everything in behind is rated 117 or less. Even the horse that was like 30 lengths behind is rated 100. So, I know on what Jamie said on the potential stuff and the step out and trip could help, but mad to be backing him at the price. So cue him and Uncle Bert dead heat him for first. Rock My Way is definitely getting a bet. This is the trip for him. That run behind Springwell Bay, we all know Springwell Bay was a good thing that day, was a little bit too far for him. I thought he might appreciate the 3 miles, but that first race at Cheltenham just showed that he didn't. So I think he's a proper price at 12 to 1. One other one that definitely needs a mention, Soaring Glory, won the Betfair hurdle here, maybe 2021, I want to say, or maybe 2020. Yeah, 2021 he won it. 133. He's now only £2 higher than that. He peaked up at 147. Do you remember people were talking about this horse for a Supreme after he won that? He went off 10-1 for a Supreme. It's madness, the price that he went off that day. But it's also madness now that he's having a couple of runs. His mark's coming down. John Joe Neal knows what he's doing. I would imagine now they're getting a mark out of him. This is only worth 21 grand, so I'm sure they probably still want to win a race. But he would definitely be interested in another Betfair hurdle tilt, I would imagine. So, yeah, I'm going to back Rock My Way for sure, but I'm probably going to get it wrong.
Lovely. Thank you, sir. That prompts us nicely along to Johnny. The old shaking a fist there, Johnny.
Sorry, Dave's literally done the work for me there. Soaring Glory for me. It's a bit of a leap of faith, but he's dropped £13, hasn't he now? I think since in the last sort of year and a half or so. It was February 21 where he won that handicap here. 23 runner race that was. So he's back on 135. I just think he's on a great mark. If you can show a bit of spark, then he's got a good chance in this. But like Dave said, they might be keeping him for something else, but off that mark, he's got to be, he's got to have a blind in each way shout in this, definitely. As Jamie mentioned before, Jet Powered, I mean, it's first time in a handicap. I mean, he could be absolutely thrown in. We just don't know, really, do we, on the 3 runs? But, he might end up winning by 10 lengths. So it might be a case of backing him to win and Soaring Glory each way. Of the others, like Ian mentioned Langer down, it'll be interesting to see how much effort he's putting in. And Cobbler's Dream is the other one. He's already qualified for the Patent, so he's not going to be wanting to blow his mark in this, is he? So he'll probably just sit quietly there in the middle of the field and have a little run round. So, yeah, soaring Glory for me all the way.
Lovely. Thank you, gents. Right on quickly, because the clock is ticking, to the 2:15, Jerry Fielden. Matt, are you ready to kick off a race for us?
No.
Dave, take over the reins.
I mean, it probably takes no talking, does it? Under Control was like an eye catcher for lots of people last season. Form's been franked. Stupidly short price already. I think maybe you get 3-1 when they first priced this one up. But like it is just that, like it's a stupidly short one. I don't know what the stats are. I need to get some sort of access to a database for like horses that are 6-4 or shorter in a handicap, because I'm pretty sure if you just bet every single one of them, you'd make a lot of money. Like I remember Total Recall went off 8-11 in a handicap hurdle after winning the Hennessy. It's just stupid. So I fully expect Under Control to go and win this, but it's not a trustworthy one to go and get steamed into. Like if it was 5-2, 3-1, probably be encouraging people to bet it. But it's just about the right sort of price, like the Gaelic Warrior in the Fred Winter, and it goes off 13-8. That's about the sort of price they should be. I haven't looked deep enough to see if I could find something against it, to be honest. So I can't offer an each way bet, but I would suggest that's probably the way to play it. Just accept that Under Control is probably going to win it, but stranger things have happened for horses to get beat. So probably find something at a price to bet each way. Brentford Hope's the obvious one that's obviously in second favourite, but I wouldn't fancy that to win, and it's no like sort of each way price. But that does mean that it's like maybe like 10-1 bar. So there's got to be some value in there, but I don't know what it is. Sorry.
That's fair enough. Like that, Ian. Under Control, one of your horses to follow for the season.
Oh, she's going to piss home, OJ. She's going to absolute piss home.
There we go. You don't need to say it, Mark. We don't need you to go off now. That'll do. Johnny.
Let the man talk, OJ.
Go on,
No. So she's going to win, and then she'll go, by the looks of it, I know you never root OJ.
No. Don't start with your roots.
She'll probably go for the Lanzarote, I think, after she wins this. Breeze Rock did.
It's all right. I've muted him. Carry on, OJ.
Leave it on mute, Al. Go on, Johnny.
He's back off now.
Yeah, boring pick from me in this one. That Under Control should win. The only blemish on her copybook has been in the Mare's Novice, obviously last year when she blew out. Brentford Hope. I keep saying he's a bit of a bridal merchant, don't I? But he did find a little bit last time, so it'd be interesting to see if that was a one-off. But Under Control should win.
Thank you, sir. JB?
Yeah, Under Control should win. I suppose Dave is like me. I thought Lucia would come here instead of Under Control, but obviously the form is Frank with Iberico Lord winning. won easy around here and didn't it? Under control beforehand. The only horse against it really is Hansard, because Hansard ran against Rugo the last day. It was dropped £2. Niall Hoonan's taken 3 more, so it's technically off a mark of 135, and I'm hanging on to the fact that it was in the race with an entry behind In the Pocket, Strong Leader, and Lucia. Lucia was third, obviously, in the Great Wood. Strong Leader was second last week to Dave's Lave the Ear of Blue King Daru. So I would go. I think he's a actually decent price, a 6-1 each way against Under Control. So it's Under Control for me, but each way definitely going to have a bit of a Hansard as well. Yeah,
Hansard. I got to hand it to you, Dave. Blue King Daru must have gone quite a price in running last week.
Yeah, I think 7-5 he touched as the top, and after they jumped 3 hurdles, he was 25-1, and then obviously canted in and won, didn't he? But even that, like, I didn't even 25-1 postcard, I still had no chance. Fair play. I think 48 the back of that. How bad the race was when you win a grade 2 and you're rated 148 off the back of it for winning it nicely. Never mind, let's shut up about it, please.
Alex, Jerry Fielding.
Yeah, Under Control will win it, and then I'll give a little speculative each way to one with a big price. Spirit Danu was 4th behind Blue King Daru at Cheltenham. When we had Niall Houlihan on the channel, he gave a good mention to this horse, said he was really keen on it. I think maybe more suited back to a flatter track like Newbury. And
only prompted by you. Only after he was prompted by you.
Yeah, I had to gouge that out of him. But yeah, fancy Spirit to do a decent price each way.
Love it. Thank you very much, sir. Matty, Under Control.
No, I've gone down the route of looking for an outsider, and I know you've got to take a chance because he pulled up the last day at Cheltenham behind Iberico Lord. But if you go back and look through Affordle's form, he's 40-1 on Bet365. He only finished 2 lengths behind Blue King Daru back in April. Harry Cobden chose to ride him that day over Blue King Daru. I just think at 40-1, he could be an each way play. You've got to be, you've got to forgive him a run or two, but back on good to soft ground, I think he could go well at 40-1.
Oh, Geordie Joe was all over him for the Great Wood, I think, wasn't he? He was. Thank you, gents. Right, so we're expecting a nice little watch of Under Control there. Right, 250, Coral Gold Cup, handicap chase, race of the day. Who's not kicked us off on a race yet? Matty, yeah, but he's not ready, is he? Johnny, we'll go back to you.
No.
Come on.
Yeah, I've just got a couple to mention this. It's obviously quite a difficult race to pick from, but I think plenty of people are waiting for this Monbeg Genius to put head in front again. He pulled up sharply last time out after a bad mistake, and he seemed to be going okay at the time. So if he can avoid those mistakes, I fully expect him to be up there. He's probably one of the first ones on my list. Ahoy Senor off top weight. I'd love, how much I love Ahoy Senor, but I'd love to see him have a crack at this off the top weight there. But we'll have to see for declarations tomorrow. There's a fella in work who keeps telling me about this Bill Baxter, and he's really keen on it. So I'll give him a shout out for Bill Baxter, Kevin work. So he won the Topham, didn't he, back in April? So, he's had a little, he'd be probably worth a little each way. I think he's 20-1 at the moment. So I'll probably play the 2 Monbeg Genius and Bill Baxter in this. So I think he had a little run out as well, finished 3rd last time out. So yeah, go for those 2 in that one, please, OJ.
Shout out to Kev.
Shout out to Kev. He watches, so yeah.
A right smile from Dave there, where Bill Baxter was mentioned.
Yeah, no chance, is he? He might go in the rehearsal. Like a chance to shoehorn in, right? Imagine Shishkin held an entry. We've got like a Ahoy Senor after what happened last weekend. They're running the rehearsal. It's only a couple of furlongs further. He wants to know the Gold Cup trip. We should have got Shishkin supplemented. Should have had a little whip round to get him in here, but that's by the by. Ahoy Senor is now jocked up. I've been looking at this race a little bit today, doing some stats and trends to try and, rather than just like pinprick to find it, trying to see some stuff. So I did it revised, right? Because there's weight in bands. If he'd have come out, it would have made a significant difference to where the horses would have been carrying different weight. But now he's jocked up. I'm hoping he will run. So I won't go into too much depth, but there are some very relevant stats for this. There are some less relevant stats, and there are some stats that used to be good that are no longer good. So forget the second season novice chaser thing. So it used to be horses that were novices last season coming into the Hennessy Gold Cup was a real good trendsetter. In the last 10 years, it's been 5 out of 10. In the last 15, it's been 7 of 15. So that is old hat now. Don't worry about that. The relevant ones are, this is for the 10 out of the last 10 have had this, at least 2 wins over fences. They've raced at 3 miles plus before. They've either won at Newbury or they haven't run at Newbury. That's 10 out of 10. So the 3 that have run at Newbury have won. They've carried between 10 stone 8 and 11 stone 6. That's why I touched on the weight thing, because if Ahoy came out. And they've had at least 6 runs over fences, but you could make that 9 out of 10 if you go for horses that have had 7 runs over fences or more. They've won at 3 miles or about it. So it's 2 miles, 7.5, you could say, aged between 6 and 8. And they've run this season. That whittles the field down quite significantly. And the one that comes out number 1 on all of those is Midnight River, who I quite like from a form perspective as well. I thought he's running the Charlie Hall was pretty good. So Midnight River is my fancy for the race. The other ones that come out quite good on the stats is Eldorado Allen. He misses out on the age thing, but he has only just gets on the cusp. He won over 2 miles, 7.5. So tempers enthusiasm on him. And Marla Mission comes out as sort of joint second, I guess, with Eldorado Allen. Monbeg Genius is right up there. But some of the other ones, like Complete Unknown, are way, way, way down the list. So Midnight River will win. Eldorado Allen's overpriced, I think. Marlon Mission's the price that he probably should be, but I'm going to get him beat. And then Monbeg Genius, meh, not for me.
There we go. Just like that. Love that. Alex, Marlon Mission.
Yeah, he just shits him, didn't he? Let's be honest. He was going to win the National Chase.
Oh,
I
here we
don't
go.
care what anyone says. Johnny chatting shite. He was going to win the National Chase. If he had won that, he'd probably be off 155, 156. So let's be honest, he's going to win, isn't he? He'll go from the front. He'll jump. He'll today. He's had a little prep run this season. He meets all of Dave's trends. He even meets the one out. He's a second season novice, isn't he? So let's just get stuck in.
Proper chance.
Love that. Jamie, what do you think, mate?
Ditto what Alex says, really, but it's a 2-horse race for me, and it's between Manor Mission and Monbeg Genius. I wouldn't take any notice Monbeg Genius run the last day. I think he's better going left-handed anyway. That was only just a whip around to get a prep run before Ascot. Look, the form is there, obviously, with Corrick Rambler. It's the obvious one. Is Corrick Rambler fast or slow? Manor Mission, obviously, went to Carlisle, trip too short, beaten by Thunder Rock. He was the front, exactly what Alex said. You need to be up in the bandwagon here. For the Irish perspective, I see a lot of people texting me about Stumptown. I haven't got the text yet about it, so if I haven't got the text now, he's no chance. But I'd be worried about him going very fast here on the stiff fences at Newbury. But I will say, the better the ground, the better his chance. And he's no weight here because of the hoist and you're running a 10 stone 2. Obviously lost my arm and my leg on him in the Kim Muir last year when I tipped him up. But for me, it's a 2-horse race technically, and it's Marla Mission. But I prefer Monbeg Genius. I think put a gun to my head, I'd go with Monbeg Genius. Yeah.
Ooh,
We've got forecast here for you.
things are hotting up. Ian, what are you thinking, mate?
I'm thinking Monbeg Genius as well, to be honest. I was having a quick look at the some of the full lines. I can see potentially the reason behind Complete Unknown being favoured. I think it was behind Jerry Colombe, I think, and Gala de la Tour recently. But you see, Monbeg Genius, I was looking, I think he had a bad mistakes. So John Joe pulled him up at Ascot last time. You can have a look at the Ultima as well. Corrick Rambler obviously won the race, went on to win the National. Fast or Slow has come out and won again and beat all the Irish hot pots at the weekend. So, yeah, I won't say much else, but yeah, it'd be Monbeg Genius for me as well.
Things are really hotting up. Matty, finish it off for us, mate.
Dave did all my talking. I like Eldorado and Midnight River. And they're the 2 that I had looked at earlier on in the week for this race. But Dave sold me, so yeah, we'll just go with those 2.
Nice and simple. Like that. Fantastic. Great stuff, gents. So the clock really is ticking. We're nearly hitting the hour mark. before we wrap up, has anybody got anything else for the Saturday?
Jamie's got some Fairy House ones.
Dave got something? for
Dave
Saturday? Hand
first.
up?
He put his hand up for Saturday.
So, yeah, this works out nice as well because it wraps up Newbury. Master Chewy, fucking
Master Chew, I knew he was going to say it.
Whoa!
have
Stop backing that horse.
gamble responsibly, but have everything on. They won't take
Have everything on him. Everything on him.
They won't take the fences out of Newbury. They never have done.
Yeah.
There's a short running after the last fence. He's still well handicapped. The race is trash. Elixir of the Nuts is just going to tow him along, and Master Chewy is going to fucking eat him up in the home straight. He'll get 11-4 about him before
Absolutely shit. So
He's 72, isn't he? He'll absolutely rock him.
Shit time. Better
Yes,
than
them too. Yeah.
Better the weekend.
Shit time. Gamble
Better the
response.
weekend to wrap it up. Brilliant. The Voice of Ireland. You got anything at Fairy House you wanted to mention?
The Royal Bond. I see. What is it? Encanto Bruno on Tubber and Slade Steel and a few more in it. I can't have Encanto Bruno. I think the better the ground, obviously, for Encanto Bruno, the better his chance. That on Tubber is absolutely no chance. Can't have him. Look at the way he finished the last day at Fairy House. He was walking home. And I think he'll bounce after a bad injury. So I'm all over Slade Steel in this. I saw 11-4 there earlier. The only reason, obviously, Slade Steel, because obviously he was beaten by Ballyburn in the probably the best bumper in Ireland last year. So he'll do for me. I said on Joe's last day, I put up Sharjah for the Turners. But I think the forecast is obviously frosty, and they're saying it's soft, good to soften places at the moment. Fairy House, the better the ground, the better Sharjah's chance, because I think, let's be clear about it, needs a bog. So if Sharjah a decent price against, let's be clear about it, I'll be back in Sharjah. And it's sure the Hatton's Graces. It's toss of a coin, really, isn't it? Really, obviously, the heavier the ground, the better chance for TU Boo. The better the ground for Imperial Pass. But obviously, Imperial Pass will go on soft ground as well. But he's a brutal price for first time out. So look, that's about it. But if you put my gun to my head, the best bet of the weekend at Fairy House in the grade ones, it's Slade Steel and Roy Bond for me. Yeah.
Love that. Thank you, sir. So before we go then, quickly, if I was to ask you all for your bet of the weekend, we'll go from the top as I see it. Alex?
Marla Mission, Shit's Home.
Matty?
Rock My Way each way.
Love it. Ian?
Under Control, Pisses Home.
Jamie?
Master Chew in the last in Newbury on Saturday.
Johnny?
I'll go for the Drasher as my nap and each way Soaring Glory.
And Dave?
I mean, I know Jamie's already said it, but Master Chewy fucking shit time, so got to be double nap. But all of them have got proper.
If you want to go, if we want me to go with the Irish side of the whole weekend, Slade Steel and Roy Bond.
If we were allowed to do Ireland, I'll say Sharjah going right-handed, jumps right, doesn't he? All shit home in the Drimore. Loads of shitting.
There's a treble in there somewhere.
Shitting over everywhere. Right. 59 minutes, 15 seconds in. I think that just about wraps things up nicely, boys. Jamie, Dave, thank you ever so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
I'm sure anybody who watches or follows us already knows about ranting and racing, but if you don't know about ranting and racing, then I don't know what else you're doing on a Monday night, because that show is shit hot.
And they've got the Bad Boy on tomorrow, haven't they? Scotty Rudd is on tomorrow with them.
Oh, we don't want to watch that then. No, so Monday nights, 9 o'clock. Remember, folks, if you haven't watched it, then you're missing out. And for the rest of you, thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the racing. If you like it, remember to subscribe, like, comment, put your selections in the comments, and we'll see you all again soon. Thank you.
Guys, be lucky.